Hello and welcome to Flippin Through, the internet's #1 MAD magazine review, news, and interview channel. I feel like I've been heavy on news and review. Haven't done an interview in quite some time. I have been in contact with a MAD writer and artist. I don't know, we kind of went back and forth a little bit. He's a busy guy. He actually has a book that's coming out pretty soon. But I don't know. I haven't like pinned him down to do an interview. I don't have anything scheduled, but hopefully I'll get some more of those up, because ideally what I want to have is I want to have like a library of interviews with the usual gang of idiots. But before I go any further and start diving into this issue, if you enjoy these videos, please hit like and subscribe and share it out to other people. Leave a comment if you have any thoughts, even if it is, hey man, you skipped this and it would have been better if you didn't. I appreciate the feedback. I really do, because I want these videos to be awesome. And if they're not being awesome, I want you to let me know. So, in this issue of MAD, we rap. Number 278, April 1988. Our price, $1.50, which is indeed cheap. Now, I did a live stream. I explained all this. I was doing an art project with my kids, and now the spray paint's coming off a lot more, but it's really on there. That stuff really sticks. So I picked this one out purely for the cover. We have like Alfred E. Newman with that sort of like Run DMC look. I don't know who it was that. Did they both wear the glasses, or was it Daryl who wore the glasses, or was it like Reverend Run? I'm not sure. But fun fact, Daryl, I don't know his last name. He's like a comic book genius. That guy knows a lot about comic books. He loves comic books. And I think he also makes comic books. It's pretty awesome. So I imagine, this is me projecting, I imagine that this was something of an honor for them to be on the cover of MAD magazine. Why wouldn't it be? So also, MAD pardons the president. So wait, 1988? Was somebody get pardoned in 1988? Was it Richard Nixon? No, that happened. That was like really quick afterwards. That was like LBJ was like, he pardoned him. So that was like in the 70s. Anyway, I am a little nervous about this issue, because usually when it comes to rap and making fun of it, it usually comes off as pretty corny. And I mean, like, the thing is, I remember like Norm Macdonald was talking about impressions, and his observation about impressionists stuck out to me a lot, because he said that to be a successful impressionist, what you have to do is you have to love the person you're making fun of. Even if you don't actually like them, you have to love them so that you do a good job. And I think that a lot of people who do sort of like fake raps or make fun of raps is they don't love rap music. And so it just comes off as like sort of condescending and not that funny. So we'll see. We'll see if, I'm assuming Frank Jacobs was put in charge of this, but we will see. Anyway, let's get going. I am doing something slightly different, and that is, instead of being ignorant all the time, here I'll actually switch over. I have my web browser up, and I am on madcoversite.com. If you have not been to that website, you better get to that website. Doug Guilford does not sponsor my videos, all right? But I will gladly give him a shout out every single time, because he made a great website. A lot of really great information. So, who do we got here? Well, we have this. Oh, subscribe to MAD, and we have two different. You can receive money and receive these big books free. So, wait a second. I think I got this one. I think I just got this one. I don't have this. I have a few of these, and if you are unfamiliar with these big books, if you haven't seen them, they're a lot like the MAD pocket books, the ones that are like that big. Why? Oh, I should have done it like, that's hard for me. Anyway, they're very small and they could like fit in your back pocket. But these are the opposite. I mean, they're like twice as wide and twice as tall. And well, I guess they're magazine size now that I ramble on about it. I believe I have this one, and I don't think I have Mort Drucker. I have a Frank Jacobs one. Dorky Dancing, a MAD movie satire. Tales from the Duck Side. We got 4 cartoons from him. Is this... Okay, here's my prediction. Angelo Torres, obviously, Duck Edwing. Quick recoveries for embarrassing. This is Jaffe Aragones. This is Peter Paul Porges. You can tell because he has just disgusting characters. They all look horrible. And then this is Mort Drucker. That's my guess. Is that's Angelo Torres and Stink Out Drucker. We'll see. Oh wait, I can actually check. Wait, I don't want to check. I want to see if I was right. So here we have the letters page, and holy smokes, there's a lot of oh, see, okay, this is what I was talking about. I think I was talking about this in the live stream that I did. If you didn't see it, it's up there. The live stream, it was my first ever one. It was pretty fun. I got to like interact. If you read the comments of these videos, you will recognize some of the people who commented out during that. It was really cool. It was I definitely want to try it again. Yeah. Anyway, here we go. A real crass act. I was talking about how like people really were flattered to be on Mad Magazine. So this is an issue, well, a very recent issue. It's the Beverly Hills Cop one. You can see Axel Foley there grinning. The cast of ABC's Head of the Class contort their faces in pain. Either they've just been reading our spoof of their show in Mad 275, or they've just been stuck from behind with pins. Just where is Howard Hessman anyway? And then look at this. Who stops by the Mad offices? Robert De Niro. Did I ever tell you the story about when I tried to drop by the Mad offices? I'm not joking either. I did. I tried to drop by the Mad offices. It was not, I was not warmly received. I'll just say that. And I was wrong. So Mort Drucker did Dorky Dancing. A lot of really cool background details, which I love. That's what I think one of the reasons why I focus in on these small details is because as a child, reading wasn't all that exciting for me. As a kid, I followed the visual storytelling a lot more than I did the written word. I mean, it's probably why I still read comic books now. It's so I am used to just like closely examining all of the like the sort of small details that get fit in. There's this wonderful New Yorker cartoonist, and I forget his name, but he used to always hide his daughter's name, Nina, in his illustrations. And that was like, when I found that out, I was like, every single time I got, like my parents got an issue, I'd like just scour it, and then I'd just try to find her name. And I mean, he just had like this wonderful, smooth style. Forget that guy's name. I'm sure somebody will know. Dorky Dancing. Patrick Swayze. Is that really what Patrick Swayze looked like? This, of course, is a totally accurate representation of that lady. I feel bad for her. She got a nose job, right? And then nobody wanted to hire her. I think that's a life lesson right there. Like those things that you might think are your imperfections, those are things that people do appreciate about you, and sometimes they're the things that they like most about you. Terrifying terminal tragedy. Hurry up, Harold. Come on already. He just gets sliced up. Hold on. Let's examine this illustration real quick. I mean, I'll go. This does not look like Mr. Edwing, does it? I mean, like, you can see him in it. You can see his style in it. But this is kind of strange. Look at, he has, like, I'm not even where I'm pointing. So he has, like, these sort of dashed lines right there. Like, nothing solid. This is, like, this is not his style, wouldn't you say? Are they all going to look like this? Gotta label this. Still more celebrity silhouettes. Now, I did get, like, usually I go into these cold, like I've not read or seen any of these, but I did get a little glimpse of this, so I kind of know this one. The writer is Rurik Tyler, an artist Bob Clark. This is not utilizing Bob Clark's set of skills at all. So here we have who. I absolutely love this because I mean, like, silhouettes are very interesting, but it's like, I mean, like, the writer of this, you think, like, well, what did the writer do? The writer is a visual genius, I would say. That's what I would say. Rurik Tyler, the fact that he was able to, like, kind of, like, put these together, really quite clever. So which is Robin Leach and which is Sesame Street's Ernie? Which is Gaddafi? Which is the late great Muammar Gaddafi? And which is Nancy? And you can't guess. Which is Mrs. Patti LaBelle and which is the alien? I don't know. Is that what you would call it? It's like when the people call the shark from Jaws, they're like, the shark? Like, he's got a name. His name's Bruce, all right? He's Bruce the Shark. Which is Roger Ebert, and which is Marvin? Wishnick Troll and Don K. This is a joke that has been kind of done to death, but, you know, you got to fill the page, right? Which is Prince Charles and which is Jughead. Oh, I love that. Quick recoveries for embarrassing situations. This reminds me, yeah, I think I was correct on this with Al Jaffe. This reminds me quite a bit of a couple issues ago. There was a gag that was like what people say and what they really mean. So telling a joke. Here's a Polish joke that really shows how stupid. Herb, I see you met Tom Nazowski. Just shows how stupid people are who laugh at that kind of garbage. Going to a museum. How can the guy who did this dare to call himself an artist? I did it. When it's perfectly obvious he should be called a genius. Look at this caricature of William Gaines. This is like, I feel like this is kind of a new way. I don't think I've seen him drawn like this before. Normally he's drawn with more love. That's why I feel like he's drawn with a little bit more love. Right now he has the comb stuck in his hair. We have talking to strangers. Hey, we don't allow bums in here. Have someone park my Rolls Royce to disturb distinguished guests like you. That is awesome. Now I understand why he drew him such a way. And look at school. This is one I've seen reprinted. Definitely. Here we have the jock. Look at, he's talking to her. Look at how happy she is. He is talking to her. She's on cloud 9. Look at this poor dejected young woman. Only wanted to hide the test answers. Last photo. This was the class photo of every school in America this year. That's what it looked like. Except, you know, just put a laptop around Alfred E's face. Here we have this. Look at this young Romeo pulling the hair. Spitball. Thing. What a dreamboat. Oh, kids are dumb. Now this is I love this dude's art. I'm kind of skipping over this. What was going on with Duck? Look at this. Am I inventing this? Am I imagining something that like isn't different? This like what is it called? Muhammad Ali moment? No, what is that? The South African president or prime minister. You know, when they talk about the Berenstain Bears, how something happened and it changed history. His art hasn't always looked like this. I wonder how old he was. Maybe this is just towards the end. Maybe he couldn't hold a pen as steady. All right. Anyway, so the Mad Nasty File. This is a caricature artist that I really really enjoy. I don't know that he did that much stuff. The Mad Nasty File. Not too long ago, we fired off a barrage of insults at every highly rated individual and well-respected organization we could think of and called the entire mess the Mad Nasty File. It was our insincere hope that by bursting every one of the world's overinflated balloons, we wouldn't need to vent our spleen in similar fashion for a long time. But alas, much to our delightful dismay, we find there's already a new crop of celebrities and institutions that have yet to feel the sting of our pointed barbs. So, with no apologies, we petulantly present the Mad Nasty File, Volume 2. So, the Mad Nasty File, Volume 2, I actually want to look up Jerry Gersten. How long? So, oh my gosh, he did a lot of work. From 86 all the way up to 2017, he was work as an artist. He deserves it. I really like it. It almost reminds me somewhat of Ralph Steadman. More constrained than Ralph Steadman, but these sort of like kind of like wild lines, the variation. Almost like he's going for mood over accuracy, I would say. Look at how this like neck is just sort of like abnormal shape. Obviously abnormally length, like that was what he was going for, but it's also imperfect. If you look at like Tom Richmond's caricatures, they're perfect. And these are not. Anyway, so the Mad Nasty File, it's a lot like what goes on today, where it's like, hey, let's call out everybody else in hopes that if I call out everybody else, people will spare me because I've done such a good job of calling out everybody else. So Lieutenant Colonel Oliver North picked a gorgeous model to be a secretary, which proves that his judgment isn't always bad. Sincerely believes that the rank of Marine Colonel outranks the President of the United States. Proved that the people of this country want to know what's really going on, their favorite soaps, considering how many complained they were preempted. Here we have, I forgot to say, I thought that was Geraldo Rivera with that lovely mustache. Look at this, Jack Nicholson. Doesn't make horror movies intentionally. His romantic comedies just turn out that way. Is noted for his portrayals of a psychopath, an astronaut, and an underworld hitman, all played exactly alike. Could do a great impersonation of a cobra if only his smile had more warmth. Yeah, there was this really weird thing. I think, was it Playboy or Rolling Stone? It was like one of those like big interview magazines where they would have like these very well-known writers interview celebrities, or like very talented interviewers, and they broke the news to him that who he thought was his sister was actually his mother. And it's like transcribed. So the guy's like, hey, so what's it like being raised by your grandmother thinking she's your mother? He's like, what? What are you talking about? And yeah, it was kind of it was sort of heartbreaking. Yeah, I'm not going to read through all of this stuff, but it's like, yeah, there's just something about his style that I really, really like. We got a Dangerous Sports. Paul Peter Porges. Correct. Turnpike Tennis. Dangerous Sports for the very daring and the very stupid. Hazardous waist barrel jumping. Concrete floor wrestling. Demolition relay race. Back alley ball. Oh my goodness. Secret supermarket rules. Look at this. So, all right. Look at this background. This is wild. But I want to examine this. This is my obsession with Paul Coker Jr. Now, Paul Coker Jr., I've said many, many times, his best illustrations are when he is working under constraint. Like this, right? He has very limited area for him to work in. And he does a very good job. When he has to fill a larger space, that's where he usually falls into trouble. But if we look at this background, he's doing that. He's doing it quite well. But there's hard to, let me compose my thoughts. He's doing a little bit of a trick. Like, one, it's chock full, or it appears to be. But if you look at here, a lot of it is filled in with this cross-hatching. But it allows contrast between his like really loose sketches. So they're actually, I feel like, easier to notice because of that cross-hatching that's in there that darkens it. It brings it out a little bit more. So, well, I have to like eat my hat, I guess. I got to eat some crow because look at that. From when he first started, he's filling a page really, really well. Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. The official MAD pardon of Ronald Reagan. Who did Ronald Reagan pardon? Like, why is this a joke? Tom Smith, you're needed. I need a pop culture explanation. The official MAD pardon of President Ronald Reagan, President of the United States, 1981 to 1989. Whereas, instead of proposing massive funding in the fight against AIDS, Ronald Reagan recommends abstinence. Ronald Reagan recommends abstinence because it works so well for his age group. Whereas he has been strong on law and order everywhere, except in the White House. Ooh, scathing. Whereas he calls hired killers terrorists if they're on their side, and freedom fighters if they're on our side. Yeah, but that's right. That's everybody. That's like how enemies work, right? I don't know. Maybe I'm not right. Whereas Ronald Reagan is known as the great communicator, it only allows reporters to shout questions at him as he walks to and from his helicopter. So funny, like the things that are complaints about President then, and like, I was alive for part of Reagan's presidency. I was born in 1985. I remember none of it. So it's just kind of interesting to see. I don't know. Maybe because I'm in it right now. I'm in the midst of it. Get out of here, lighter side. I'm sick of you. Oh, actually, I want to pause for a second because during that live stream that I did, somebody brought up, I apologize, I think his name was Jameson something. We were talking about that the Spy versus Spy movie, and it was pretty cool because we were talking about like how you would do a MAD movie. And I was saying, like, it would be cool if you treated the movie like the magazine. You hop from these different sort of like disconnected stories that maybe, I don't know, connect up in the end. But he was saying that the lighter side of be a sitcom. I mean, that would have to be an old school sitcom. Because like for in a lot of ways the sitcom is just dead now. So it could be like sort of a callback. You have to be really sincere about it, though. It couldn't rely too much on like a shtick, Anyway, disastrous desert drama. Boo-ah, boo-ah, honk, honk, honk. Balatu. Thumpa, roar, thump, thump. Claire, Claire, maybe you're right. Maybe we should move the stand across this. Celebrity reading list. Yeah. Michael Jackson, he's been reading The Ink Spots and Other Lifelong Boy Sopranos. Dare to Wear Epaulets. How to Profit from Your Strangeness. That's a book that a lot of us need to read. What the Well-Dressed Man Should Wear on One Hand. Ooh, Frank Sinatra. Who's Who in Sicily? Who's Who in Las Vegas? Who's Who in Hoboken? Who's Who at the bottom of the East River? Good Manners and Why Celebrities Don't Need Them. Profiles in Arrogance. Louis XIV. Leonard Brenner. This is disturbing. This one is very disturbing. Retaining Your Sex Appeal Beyond Puberty. Who wrote this? Tom Koch? Artist Sam Viviano. Was it around this time? When did this come out? Like 19? This may have been like right around when Blue Lagoon came out. And Blue Lagoon it's a strange movie. I'll just leave it at that. Google it. Google Blue Lagoon. And do a little reading. Ayatollah Khomeini. That's Instant Guide to Zodiac Types. I'm only going to read one of these, only one that I'm interested in, which is Taurus. Taurus. People born April 21st to May 21st are patient, practical, serious, and solemn. This is evident from the way they describe the 100 Years' War, battle by battle, or their computers, show a passionate interest in storage batteries, count cows while driving cross-country, taken for mummies, frame Tommy Hearn's witticisms above their fireplaces, take long weekends in their cellars, turtle wax their shoe trees, read Mad Magazine to strangers on the internet. Lovely artwork, kind of reminiscent of Peter Paul Porges, but is by Harry North. Here we go. Actually, right now I am going to look back at the thing. So this is what happened. I had mentioned this in the online one. Like, one thing that I didn't totally appreciate until, I don't know, probably recently, to be honest, like only a couple years ago, was the amount of people that had their hands in Spy versus Spy. We had Prohas, who started it off. They were his characters, his idea. He started it, right? No, there's no, I think that's pretty much a fact. But like this one right here, later on, he left and other people took up the mantle of it. And several before Peter Cooper did. And for example, now this is why it's nice having the cover site up. It's because this one was written by Edwing, and it was drawn by Bob Clark. And Bob Clark did a good job of copying the style of Rojas. It's different, though. If you look at them together, it's clearly different artists, but he carried it on in that style, I think, very, very well. Stakeout, artist Angelo Torres. Can't believe I got it. TV. Disclaimers for TV commercials. Don't have disclaimers. Schmertz Rent-A-Car, Pickup Lot 1. Restrictions may apply based on supply, demand, location, traffic, phase of the moon, and the political and religious preference of our customer. All right, who should I pick on next? I'm going to pick on this lady. Right now, you can get Wally's Breakfast Bonanza, 2 eggs, bacon, pancakes, and hash browns for only $1.99. Look for a participating restaurant in your area. This offer is not available weekends or during peak breakfast hours. 93% of the franchise restaurants have chosen to not participate, so look very hard. Isn't this the truth? I remember I remember Popeye's Chicken did something. I forget what it was. There was like some new sandwich or something that came out, or maybe it wasn't a new sandwich. It was like some promo deal. And There, at the time, there was only one Popeye's chicken in Minneapolis, and people mobbed the place. And yeah, I guess that story that story is not as funny when I retell it. I found it terribly amusing because just everybody poured into like this one small restaurant. The Macabre Mortician's annual convention. Gentlemen, as you know, there are times when we already overworked undertakers have to handle a mass accident or some other form of multiple death. So without further ado, let me present the latest innovation for our profession, the 6-pack coffin. Look at that, with a hole for your top hat. That's very nice. Anyway, so here we have, oh, look at this. This is young people today feel pressure from everywhere to find out what's driving lots of them to drink lately. Hold in page. Many very young kids caught drinking say it's because they are pressured into it. The most frightening question is, where will it all end? Wait, hold on. We have kooky senators. Everything's a commie plot. Yeah, but you know what, though? Like, I'm going to say an unpopular opinion. Senator McCarthy did find a lot of communists, all right? So, simple-minded satirists, lovely self-portrait, poor self-image, moral choices, money worry, insensitive parents, school problems, peer pressure. Find out. Where does it all end? Man's best friend. That's what's driving him. Spuds McKenzie. I'm assuming it's a Spuds McKenzie reference. Sports Titillated. Another Mad Fake Out magazine cover. Supermodel Elle McPherson. Delighted that she is not on this cover. So with that, wait a second. There's no rapping in this. They didn't do any rapping. Disappointing. Anyway, just really ruined my day. With that, thank you so much for watching. Like, subscribe, share it. If you enjoyed it, hit like and share it with somebody you love. If you hated it, share it with somebody that you hate. With that, toodaloo.